Yo, good morning, my friends. How you guys doing? It has been an exciting past couple days. Not really. It's actually been a little bit boring. Yesterday, I was up at the mod garage tearing out another engine, tearing it down. So this morning, I need to go drop off a set of heads over at the machine shop to get resurfaced, pressure checked, cleaned, all that fun stuff. But today we are going back down to Fuse Fabrication because Kyle is working on the EG33 STI again. So today I think the goal for what we're doing is getting the external wastegates mocked up, or not mocked up, but welded onto where the header is, the intercooler piping started, and maybe if we have time, the downpipe. We were gonna start on the intake manifold today, but the throttle body doesn't show up until Monday. So we're just using a Bosch 85mm single throttle body. It's a drive-by-wire because that engine only came in a drive-by cable setting, and since I want to retain all the electronics and everything in the car, the Haltech is capable of running drive-by-wire. It's modern technology, it's a modern ECU, there's no reason that it won't work. So next week at some point, I'm guessing we're going to get started on the exhaust manifold, or the intake manifold. There's so many manifolds. It's a lot of good stuff. Hopefully we have that car back here in the next couple of weeks. Yesterday, no, it's the day before yesterday, I ordered one seat for the 17 STI because, as you guys remember, there is no interior in that car right now. I only ordered one seat because it's more of a temporary seat. I ended up buying a Sparco Sprint. It was like $400 for the seat. I didn't really want to spend upwards of $2,000 on seats right now, plus an additional like $600 in mounting hardware, bracketry, sliders, everything like that. So we just got one temporary Sparco Sprint on the way, but I also got some other good stuff. The corner of parts over here is just getting absurd. So I did get the coilovers in for, these are for the 17 STI. I was originally going to do an air cup setup on the car, but that is so backlogged and back ordered right now that I was able to find a set of Fortune Auto 500s in stock. These are 8K springs. They're not Swiss springs or anything like that. For the time being, these will be plenty fine for what we're doing with the car. On top of that, the engine for the 05 STI shows up next week from out front. So I've been getting everything ready so that way when that engine comes, we can completely disassemble it, reassemble it. I think I have everything here at this point. I have a new oil pump, new thermostat, spark plugs, ethanol sensor, new injectors, intake manifold, all fluids that we're going to need. Main bearings, rod bearings, head gaskets, a brand new crank, head studs, case bolts, everything that we're gonna need should be right here to reassemble this new engine and get it in the car. I've done a lot of engine builds of tearing apart long blocks, but I've never built a short block. So I'm very excited to actually be able to put a short block together. Hopefully it doesn't blow up, and hopefully all of the measurements that we took are correct. I had out front measure the main bore of everything to determine what bearing size that we're gonna need. We are going with a standard bearing size, so everything should be pretty good to go when everything comes in. So anyways, let's go drop off these heads, go swing over to Fuse Fabrication, and start making our 6-cylinder STI even greater than it already is. Even greater. Forgot how smooth the 05 always just sounds so smooth. I've also been battling with Flare Dude. Apparently they're supposed to ship out today. We'll see. So I got that set of cylinder heads dropped off over at what was it? Heads up. I don't know why I spaced on that. Got those dropped off. I can pick those up on Monday, finish up that engine build that I'm doing next week at some point. But we have managed to make it back down to Fuse, the awesome place where Kyle absolutely kills everything. So let me show you guys, as a friendly reminder, where we stopped last week, what we're doing today, and then I want to address a couple small issues that some of you guys think might be a problem, and I'm going to show you why it's not. So to give you guys a complete rundown of everything we've done so far, we have the intercooler core bolted up here. We have our radiator put right behind that. We have our fill neck for the radiator here. We still have to do the outlet down on the bottom, but we've got the inlet up here. We have the turbo put in its home. We have the exhaust manifold done. You can see it down there. I'll put in some clip of the last time that we put that thing together. So at this point, today we are doing the hot side of the intercooler piping and the wastegate mock-up. So wastegates are going to go right down here, and we're going to finish the exhaust manifold because we're waiting on one more V-band. That V-band's going to go right in that long section of pipe right down there. So something that you guys brought up in the last fabrication video was that you guys thought that the turbo was like completely hard mounted. It's not moving at all. It has no flex. The turbo has more than enough flex to be able to move under power. So even though it's bolted to the frame, it still has enough movement right there where it's not super hard mounted where it's gonna break anything. The flex joints in the exhaust and the mount that we have made right here still allows for plenty of movement on the turbo. So there's nothing to worry about there. With this, so Kyle was playing with the downpipe stuff yesterday. We're doing a 3.5, I think that's 3. The downpipe's 3-inch from the turbo, right? To start, 3 to 4. Okay, yeah. So we're going 3-inch to 4-inch outlet on the hot side of the turbo. So we're waiting on an adapter flange to come in. Kyle was playing with some of the titanium yesterday trying to get it to go up to 4-inch, and it was not working out in our favor. So we have a flange coming for that. No big deal, no huge thing with that one. So we're doing the fun stuff. So as I believe I told you guys before, we are using 2 tile 38mm wastegates, one on each scroll setting. Somebody did ask why we're using 2. It's because that it is a divided housing, essentially twin scroll. Each scroll is just gonna have its own wastegate. You can merge them together, but it's more complicated than it needs to be. We also got the last V-band in for the exhaust manifold. So now, what are we doing first? The wastegates? We're doing the wastegates first. Let's make some wastegate stuff. So we cut the exhaust manifold about right here. This is where that other V-band section is going to end up going. It's going to end up connecting that end of the pipe over to the driver's side of the exhaust manifold. Then they're going to wrap up and around, as you guys already saw. Right here's where one of the wastegates is going to come off. So we've got one of the flanges. I think it's just tagged. Yeah, it's just tacked on there right now. But look at how well that thing fits on there. It is insane. That started out as a 90. And it just mates up to that pipe so perfectly. It's insane. So Kyle's got the first wastegate welded up on, well, it's tack welded right now, except for the flange. The flange is actually welded, but this is where our first wastegate's going to sit. As for the dump tubes, we'll wait on that until we actually get the bumper back on here, so that way we can kind of figure out where they're going to go. How are we going to do that?
So this is gonna come out of this and swoop up like this, and then it's gonna come out of the bumper like this, and then we'll cut it flush with the bumper, so we'll have like a big teardrop on each one of them.
Oh, dude, this gonna look so good.
Yeah.
That looks so fucking good already, dude. Dude, that's nuts. Guess for Subaru terms, this would be considered our up pipe. So Kyle's also got the other V-band tacked in. So this is what we were talking about, getting a V-band right there on that mid pipe kind of section. So if we need to, we can leave the actual manifolds mounted up to the engine on both sides. Come in here, take off that V-band, take off that V-band. Actually, no, we'll just take off that V-band and that V-band, then we can kind of remove the up pipe section. It'll just make it a lot easier doing it this way than it would be to have it all as one piece. So Kyle was saying, because I was curious about this earlier, I was like, how do you drill out the hole for the wastegate inside of the pipe? It just uses a hole saw, so it kind of just goes in there, opens it up. It's magic. It's all wizardry to me still. So the way this thing is coming out is absolutely nuts. I literally just want this car to hurt people's feelings, and that is exactly what it's going to do. It's gonna kill people's hopes and dreams, and I'm all about it. I am all about it. Well, not everybody's, but it's gonna hurt some feelings, which is what we want out of the car. That's what we want to do. So Kyle's getting ready to mock up the second location for the other wastegate. That one's gonna sit up right about right there. It's just gonna be so much better to have one wastegate per scroll setting. It's not gonna overwork the wastegates either. Instead of trying to push it into one collector, go out like, I mean, I guess you could do like a bigger wastegate just to be able to flow better, but 238s is gonna be just fine. So he's gonna do another one of these crazy like teardrop shapes right there, if I can get it to focus, because I'm bending my back a weird way, but it's gonna do another one of those crazy teardrop shapes. It's gonna end up coming off right here, and then both of these are gonna end up tearing outwards. It's gonna be pristine. And then as for intercooler piping, so with most intercooler cores that you guys see on Subarus, you just get the core and then it's got like a little flange coming off the end of it there, and then you put just your coupler over it with a V-band, or not a V-band, a coupler with your T-bolts, and then it goes on like this. So this one's actually gonna have a welded pipe coming off of it, probably about to right here. We're gonna end up cutting this a little bit. It's not anything really structural. If you look at it like right back there, you can actually see behind it where my fingers are. So it's only structural up near the top. So we're gonna end up cutting that out a little bit, so that way we can actually get to the turbo. And then that's the one right there that's gonna end up having a Vangent clamp on it. It's gonna look so good. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna hold all the power. So So we were playing with the secondary wastegate location up here, and we were trying to push it up a little bit more, and we keep hitting this support flange. So I think we're gonna come in here, do like a quick rough cut to just clear that out of the way, so that way, we can kind of get the intercooler piping thought up of where it's gonna route. I mean, Kyle already has an idea. It's gonna come down like right through this area here, but that'll also allow us to push that wastegate up a little bit more and maybe have it sitting up there. So let's cut out the support beam a little bit, make some room. There's so much more room in here now. Look at that. We got plenty of room now for the intercooler piping to just kind of wrap down and the wastegate to come up a little bit more. It's beautiful. So we've got both wastegates tacked up on here now, and these look absolutely killer. So you guys can see that back one wraps around to the back runner right there, and then the front one just comes straight off of that. Both the wastegates look just beautiful mounted up like that because they're both in line, they're both in the same orientation. It's gonna be gnarly with them actually coming out of the bumper like that. And then there's still plenty of room right here for the intercooler piping to come down from the turbo right through this area that we cut out and then go to this side. Now, something that I didn't know is this side is 3" on the hot side of the intercooler, but the cold side over there is actually 3.5. So because we're gonna be running an 85mm throttle body, we're doing a bigger, I guess, intercooler piping on this side. So it'll be 3.5 on this side going up to the throttle body. This side 3" going from the intercooler up to the turbo up here. That's just gonna look so, oh dude, I'm so excited for this. Just looking at it from like right here, you can see the wastegates, intercooler, turbo just poking through. Ooh. So to show you guys, this is one of my favorite things to watch is whenever Kyle bead rolls stuff. Like it goes in just looking normal, and then as you guys can see, it rolls the bead on there. It's just the craziest thing to me. It goes in looking like that all normal, and then it comes out with a fresh bead roll on it. So that'll help seal the silicone coupler between the two pipes, but it's crazy watching it. Like that end's gonna go to the intercooler. That end's obviously gonna point up towards the turbo. Vibrant makes crazy tools. I'm all about it. I like it. Bead rolling's fun. So Kyle's still going on the intercooler piping out there right now, but I do just wanna say that like this custom fabrication stuff, it takes time, and I want to say thank you to everyone who's been like incredibly patient with the process of the car going through fabrication right now. Kyle juggles a lot on his plate. He's the only one down here that does most of this fab work, so having him take the time to like kind of focus on the Subaru right now is huge appreciation. Kyle, if you see this, thank you, my dude. You're absolutely killing it with all the fab stuff. So let's go check out the hot side of the intercooler piping, because by the time I show you guys this, I'm assuming it's mocked up. It should be mocked up because I'm gonna wait to show you guys until it's mocked up. So we're just gonna be like, so this is our adapter piece that goes, that side's obviously gonna go to the turbo, that side's intercooler, but it's crazy to me that you can stretch metal like this. Like Kyle has this awesome cone thing where you can like shove the piece of cone into the metal, use a press, and it like stretches it out like this. It's just the malleability of metal like is insane to me. So here's what we were talking about earlier. This thing looks like absolutely wicked and killer. Instead of just running a small flange like most people do on intercooler cores, we actually have the pipe welded on here. No, it's not gonna make it any more difficult to put on or take off. It's aluminum, it's not like it's crazy heavy or anything like that. We still have full accessibility to the mounting locations of the intercooler core. It just reduces the possibility of any possible boost leaks right there, just eliminating them altogether. It makes life so much easier. So once we get this up on the car, I'll show you what it actually looks like. But it looks so good just already on there. Custom fabrication, you guys, so much better than off the shelf. Hell yeah, dude. It just comes straight off the intercooler. We're gonna have one coupler, literally one coupler on the hot side, and then the other side is gonna be that Vanjet clamp, which I learned is like 2 O-rings. It's really cool, crazy clamp and whatnot. It's nuts. You guys will see it when we actually get one in for this one, but dude, it's like right there. So to show you guys just how short this piping is, you can see right where it comes down at. It's just gonna wrap around right to there, through that 90, straight to the intercooler. That's honestly probably less than like 2 feet of piping right there. It's gonna pressurize so quick with that 6870. It's just gonna fill up all the charge piping. It's gonna be nuts. This thing's gonna be crazy. So this is where we're stopping for today. Next week, we're aiming to get the downpipe at least tacked up and put in place. Kind of figure out a game plan for the intake manifold, get the cold side of the intercooler piping started, and by that time, I'll have the throttle body, so that way I can bring it down. We can actually mock up where the throttle body is gonna go on the intake manifold. We're both very curious to see the design and kind of what we come up with for the intake manifold, because we want to, Kyle wants to incorporate velocity stacks into it to actually do an intake manifold properly, so I'm like incredibly curious to see how that thing's going to come out. But let me show you the overall progress for this, because it's really starting to come together, and actually like you can see it a lot better now. So the main things that we got knocked out today are the hot side of the intercooler piping kind of worked out and routed. Like I said, we are waiting on that one Vangeant clamp right down there where that blue tape is holding the intercooler pipe up to the turbo. But like I said, that wraps down. We're gonna have a coupler right here that goes over to this pipe that goes to the intercooler. We have both of the wastegates orientated and located. So at this point, we just need to weld them up. Kyle was talking about he may weld all of this up tomorrow, which is totally cool with me. So next week, like I said, game plan. Cold side of the intercooler piping that'll come up and somewhere over here. Intake manifold, throttle body, potentially downpipe. We'll see what happens, but like when you stand back, like you guys can see, it is looking insane and like actually coming together now. It's nuts. I cannot wait to get this thing started. So swing back up to the house. We'll close this video out, and we can go about our day and do this stuff. Made it back up to the house. Melanie and I had to go get some food. Swing up, grab some Olive Garden. Pretty good as always, because it's Olive Garden. But good progress was made today. We didn't get too much big stuff knocked out, but we got a lot of the smaller stuff taken care of, like wastegate location, hot side of the intercooler piping. Like I said, next week we are going to be starting on a lot. The titanium downpipe, we're going to start to get that mocked up. The the cold side of the intercooler piping, probably the downpipe, intake manifold, all that good stuff is going to be happening next week. So next week's going to be very, very busy. Very busy, but I'm excited for it because after we're out of fabrication, like I said, all we have left to do is wire in some sensors, try to make a bass tune. I don't know how to make a bass tune, but we're going to try to make a bass tune, and then try to start the car and go through the troubleshooting process. So very soon, there's a lot about to happen. Like we got all this stuff over here. We got all the EG33 stuff. There's a ton, so hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoy the EG33 stuff, because I'm trying to get down to fuse more and get this stuff like actually documented. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead, hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be, go ahead, hit that button. I'll put it in one of these corners. No idea which one quite yet. And with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.